Hello and welcome to this new moon mini workshop with me, Alicia Meek of Wild Moon Sacred Cycles. Instead of covering the very common new moon ceremony, what I want to talk about today is the difference between wishes and intentions. This is really important when you are manifesting over a new moon. Some people just make grand wishes of, I wish to find the love of my life, or I wish to win $1 million. And these are great wishes. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to put our intention into making that wish come true. There's action steps that goes along with every single wish. And so if we can become more aware of the difference of those and how to break it down, then we get so much closer to making those manifestations come into our own reality. So before we get a little deeper into that, I did want to do a quick little thing about the dark moon versus the new moon. So the new moon is often confused with the dark moon. So the new moon is when the very first sliver shows up on the moon, and that's the rebirth. That's when it is literally new. But astronomically speaking, they consider the dark moon to be the new moon. This is why I think it's really good to have a visual relationship with the moon. This isn't always possible. I live in Vancouver, BC at the moment, and it is really, really hard to see the moon, especially at the time of year that I'm filming this, which is in winter, and it's very cloudy all the time. So sometimes this isn't an available option. But if it is, it's really good to be able to look up at the moon and know exactly what phase you're in and just kind of follow that along, and that helps you stay in alignment with the moon. And so the new moon, like I said, is that sliver that first shows up, and the dark moon is right before that. And so that's when the sky is completely dark and we cannot see the moon at all. And so that is the night before the new moon. And so the new moon represents, as we know, this clean slate, the death and rebirth cycle. So the death is the dark moon and the rebirth is the new moon. And so over the dark moon, with this death, we allow everything from our past to be forgiven, not necessarily forgotten. We want to bring our lessons with us, but definitely we're going to let it go, and we're going to move into the new moon, and we're going to start dreaming up a new reality that we want to bring into existence. And so one of the first things that I really like to do in my workshops and, in the multiple books that I've written about the moon cycle, when we first begin to work with the moon, it's really good to identify your core values. And when you can identify your core values and live by them, that is truly what living in alignment is. And that's when you're going to feel at your best, and a lot of the guilt and the shame is going to drop away. So this isn't what I'm offering today, but if you want to look into that more or search within yourself and think, what are my core values? Specifically for me, my core values are to be kind and communicative and calm and honorable. I want to honor my friends. I want to honor my family. I want to honor myself. I want to honor my body. So these are just examples of some of my core values. And so every single day I live in alignment with those core values, and that really helps me to feel confident and feel good about myself and wake up every day and not be bogged down by anxiety or what did I say last night or what did I do or I shouldn't have done that and all that. So now we're going to move on to the wishes and intentions, wishes versus intentions part of the workshop. And so first, we're going to look at the wishes. So what are wishes? When we think about wishes, we think about like a wishing well and a penny, and these are like our grand wishes. I wish to find the love of my life, or to have a house of my own, or to get a new car, something like that. Really, really, really big wishes. These are our grand goals and the things that we want to accomplish. So there's so much that comes in between right now and having those wishes. And so when we make our wishes over a new moon, it's important to not just make the wishes and just hope that they come true spontaneously. There is something that we have to do in between that. And this is something that I think is really important in the process of working with the moon, and especially starting at the beginning of the cycle with the new moon ceremony, is understanding that yes, the universe is working for and with us, but we also have to work for and with it in order for us to be able to get these wishes, these grand goals, these grand accomplishments that we have in mind. So that's the first thing that I want you to look at before you do your new moon ceremony or you make your new moon wishes. I want you to look at them more as your grander goals and the accomplishments that you want to make. So taking that time and really thinking, what are my grand goals? Do I want to own a house? Do I want to buy a car? Do I want to find the love of my life? Do I want to quit smoking? Do I want to get fit? What is it? What are your grand goals? What are the big things that you want to accomplish? And so then we take those wishes, which are our goals and the things that we want to accomplish, and then we break those down into action steps. So our action steps are things that need to happen in order for the goal to become a reality. And so we take one of the goals, such as buying a house, and we look into the process of what kind of money would I need? What kind of credential would I need? What about my job, and what about, my banking status and all of that kind of stuff. And so you break that down into how you can accomplish those action steps that come in between you and being able to buy the house. And so those are your action steps. And now you have a plan. Once you create those wishes, those grand goals, then you figure out what the action steps are. And that's a plan. Now you have a plan to actually make it to your wishes and intentions. And now we're going to break that plan down even further. What are you going to do each day for those action steps and those overall goals to become a reality? Because not only do we need to do these action steps, but we also, every single day, we need to be that person that is going to accomplish those goals, that is going to have those wishes at some point. And so these become your intentions. So how do you intend to be on a day-to-day basis? If you want to buy a house, let's just use that as our example for the workshop because we're already halfway there. So if you want to buy a house, each and every single day, you're going to have to keep track of your money and not spend frivolously, and, think about your credit. What can you do to improve your credit? And what can you do to maybe get a promotion at work so that you can make more money? Or the fact that you need to get a full-time job to even apply for a mortgage for a house. All of these things, these are things that you have to do on a daily basis. So these are your intentions. So that is a wish versus an intention. So a wish is the grand goal, and the intentions are who it is you are going to become or be on a daily basis in order to become this person that you see in the future that has these wishes, these grand goals and accomplishments. And so that is pretty much what I wanted to explain over this mini workshop, is so that you understand the difference between wishes and intentions, and understand that yes, the universe is on our side. The universe loves us and wants to give us what we want. And when we can really get specific on exactly what we want, then it is so much easier for the universe to step in and give it to us. But on top of that, we have to become that person that has those things, that does those things, who are you becoming? And have those intentions live in alignment with that. Again, coming back to our core values and our living in alignment. And so one last little thing before I let you go today, after explaining that, is a journaling exercise that I have in my book, Moon Wisdom. And what it's called, Your Best Possible Self exercise. And I do this exercise very frequently to remind myself where it is that I'm trying to head, because this can be very difficult. If you don't know where you're headed, then you don't know how to get there. So you really need to take the time to think about that. And so you can either grab your pen and paper right now, and immediately after this workshop intend to kind of write out this journaling exercise, or you can remember it and it's something that you can do later. So your best possible self exercise Think about yourself in the future. Imagine that everything has gone as well as it possibly could. You have worked hard and succeeded at accomplishing all of your life goals. Consider all of the relevant areas of your life, such as your career, your academic work, your relationships, your hobbies, and your health. Think of this as a realization of all of your life dreams. And so what I want you to do is find some music that doesn't have any lyrics and sit quietly with your eyes closed and see this future, really start to build it in your mind, make the visual, see it happening. And when you feel complete and ready in this, looking into, like I said, each and every relevant area of your life, where these big goals are, where these wishes are, and then grab your pen and paper and just continuously write about what you said in as much detail as possible. And now you have something that you're going to be able to look forward to. You're going to have something that you have to work towards. Every single month on the new moon, you can create your goals based on this, make your wishes based on this, and then break it down into your action steps. Create a plan, and then every single day live by those intentions. Intend every single day to have those goals and accomplishments be followed through. And that is your new moon mini workshop. I hope this was very helpful for you in figuring out exactly, what it is that you're wishing for, what it is that you're intending over your new moon ceremonies. Happy new moon wherever you are in the world, and have a great night.